call this meeting to order. Fine, doing the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Sheridan, if I may.
Yeah.
Commissioner Curtin called and will be a little late due to unforeseen storm damage on his road.
Okay.
But we do have a quorum.
Good. Very well. All right. So we go to the bear with me here. So the payment voucher for oyster exterior work for Tremont Builders LLC. We're looking to have a discussion here, but
If you like, it's this of course is the payment voucher for the work being done on the Oyster House.
all right.
We have been working with Tremont Builders. He's done quite a bit of work. He's gotten the doors built. I see he's got at least one installed.
He's got one installed and the big barn opening doors for the oyster drop in the second story.
Yeah.
That's done.
Oh, great.
All
I see
sealed
that.
and all sealed in.
Okay,
And then two sides of the siding is completed. So it's just a matter, there's very little siding to be done on the road facing side.
mhm,
And then, of course, the very front where he's working on finishing the entry door, which will actually be hidden by the sliding barn door to give it the historical look.
correct, yes. So I would like to make a motion to approve this voucher.
I'll second it.
Okay,
All in favor?
aye,
Aye. So moved. Yeah,
And you can just about sign it.
yeah, I
Okay.
need a pen.
Okay.
May I borrow a pen?
absolutely. Black or blue?
Whatever you don't need.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Appreciate it.
this is much needed work just in moving. It's a tough word to throw forward on that oyster to move forward. But man alive,
Great.
and it's all grant dollars, so. All right, just waiting to be used properly.
Yes.
Morning. There's your wet signature for that.
Great, thank you.
In the yeah. Okay, that's the only actionable items that we were having to contend with this morning, correct?
Correct.
All right.
And the actionable items and move to the
Right.
workshop.
All right, there we go. We'll just jump right into our workshop to have our discussions appropriately here. No formal actions are to be taken during briefing, workshop special meeting, so that being, it's without saying. And then I'd make a note here, that the public is welcome and encouraged to attend all Port Island meetings. However, public comment is usually not taken at briefing workshops. It is the commissioner's prerogative whether or not the community engagement is allowed at the briefing. That's just protocol, but we invite discussion and on if we all stay on point. So we'll go from there. Business administrative improvement. So you want to just jump right to the what is it here that we want to discuss on the
We'll follow the flow.
the
of
works
the,
rosters process award public works contracts, the resolution you have here.
So that is the port's current resolution. If we follow the Commissioner Sheridan, if we follow the flow of the
Where are
of the
you?
briefing,
Yeah.
we can go through each of the items that are in the
This
priorities.
page.
Yeah. Do I have that?
Yeah. you do.
Maybe that's why I was.
It's right up there,
Yep.
that one. on
Oh,
the left.
okay. That's why I was not following things proper. Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, port regular business administrative improvements. Yeah, I remember we talked about that, the clothing bin. Are you
Yeah.
aware of that?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right.
Yeah.
Kind of too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad, but it couldn't continue. And after the bins were removed, a dollhouse, a Christmas tree, and 4 bags of clothing were left in where the bin used to be. So, and we know who it is. I'm gonna have Natalia pull the video footage, and then we'll just call Mason County Sheriff and file a case number for
Yeah,
dumping
Littering.
in public.
yeah.
So,
They just do a blotter entry on it, so thank you very
And-
much.
and
But
it-
no,
yeah.
it's okay to do that. I mean,
I
it
mean-
should do that.
I mean, I've got more information about it that I'd rather
Okay,
talk about, because it's not pertinent, but
well,
I just let the
Let them
Mason
do
County
that.
Sheriff deal with it.
exactly. All right, good call. And then, okay, fairly major changes to, for the building process on public works projects. Want to explain that?
Yeah, so we've been aware of that for a while, but as a limited office time has not allowed me to really delve into it. Provided in the packet is a sample of what the Port of Shelton upgraded there to.
We're, okay,
So we've got the Port of Allyn's current policy, and then the Public Works contracting policy from Shelton.
okay,
I talked it over with our legal, and they're actually completely fine with the way their policy works.
Right.
In accordance with the new MRSC changes.
what changed? That was,
Procurement thresholds
okay,
and slight changes to how you can contract.
oh, you still gotta get 3 bids typically?
It's more than that, 6
Yeah.
now.
Is it really? There's some work
That's
involved in
insane.
getting,
Unless you're under the $40,000
All right.
threshold, but it also includes the entirety of projects, so. The process is much simpler if you pay the MRSC $2,500 a year. You can actually use their system for them to
Right.
file it all out electronically, but that's not something that's in the port's budget.
no, I'm familiar with that, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're such a good resource if you can afford them.
Yeah, and we do, we pay $130 some a year to
But not-
have access to their rosters.
Okay,
But we don't have access to their unique software for bidding. So that costs more money.
yeah, you can't just say, please.
We don't do enough business anyway, so
Yeah,
In fact,
true.
next year, we can't even pay them by voucher check. We have to pay them by credit card.
interesting, really,
Yeah, they changed their policy.
okay,
Found that out when our check got lost in the mail and we had to reroute it after it came back.
Okay. They're doing, that's just where they do it, period.
Yeah, they're just, they don't want to receive checks anymore for their
Okay.
payment on their system. It's
Okay,
credit card only.
all right.
More of a convenience factor for them, bookkeeping one.
I know, more automation. Got it. All right, provided by Jeff Curry, okay,
So,
document, provided by,
the volunteer portion. Volunteer community members took part in the walk.
yeah,
So Commissioner Curtin, who is running a little tardy here, but he was with me, myself, and 4 other community members who took a walk through the park, and we identified several things that they could help us do.
Mhm.
And some other ideas, including, but not limited to, seeing if we can get some of the local, Boy Scout troops back involved.
perfect,
Because there's always Eagle projects that need to be done and other community service things that are part of their skills building.
okay,
But the well house has got a roof that's looking like it's more of a hobbit house than than a roof at the port. So that's something to address. It's not leaking yet, but there's some years on that one.
on this roof?
No, on the roof of the well house.
down there.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
down by the
you
water.
did say that, got it, at the water, I'm sorry. My brain is needing to get in gear here, okay,
On that note, real quick, I know this might be one more thing, but what about putting out a letter to Boy Scouts, 4-H, Lions, Kiwanis, and Rotary to ask for volunteers?
So one thing that I've done proactively is I took a picture of all the
good morning.
entities and people that helped pay for the pirate ship,
Oh,
the
yeah.
playground.
Mhm.
And something that I wanted to address in a regular meeting is to, get the commission's approval at that point I mean, we're in a workshop, so
Sure.
we're not doing that.
That's
here.
right.
But to go after seeing if they would be interested in another fundraising drive to replace the surface of the playground. Because it, from my knowledge, it's never been kept up
Mhm.
from the time it went in place. It would be great for the Allyn community to have a place where there's actually a safe surface for the kids to play off of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the equipment that's there is holding up beautifully. I mean, there's
Good quality
there's
stuff.
been there 20 years at least in that thing, if not more.
You pay a lot of money for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I'm sure.
have you, have you given it the ultimate test? Just go out there.
I've done the knock test. It's still solid that way, but we've also, we've taken our fair share of graffiti off it too, so. Not excessive amount, but still some.
Okay. Right on.
But there's still a lot of extra space there that just got pea gravel in there, if we could get, some bids to. Professional company to come in and do the whole thing. And know what our target is for the community to fundraise,
Mhm.
we can get some, action about it. We got enough action to get the pirate ship. Like what, 18 years ago,
Right, yeah.
could be able to get enough action to put a new surface in.
Maybe some more toys to add to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of those little toys that aren't really that expensive. Sometimes you can find them on the used market.
I don't remember the gals. It was a couple of ladies that pulled that together that raised the funds to put in
I
that.
think it was Leslie Ring.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, there you go. Yeah, you remember that. Okay.
Well, I cheated a little. I took a picture of the sign.
Okay.
I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that we're talking about volunteering in the volunteer world here. So I would love to see, I brought this up, we already started going down this road with now with a committee and some volunteers, but I would like to see an effort. And I'm not even asking you as executive to do it, but some ideas from the commission on how we can go about finding a volunteer or two that could be the resource to dig deeper into the community for more volunteers. Kind of like, it's not like they're always
A
gonna, we gotta
volunteer
keep,
recruiter.
yeah, pretty much a volunteer recruiter, because I've said this before, if we could somebody that's actually putting some effort, like when projects come up, or if you, I know that we got a couple of people that you said that do come and go, which was cool. I didn't know that actually help you out in the office administratively. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
So maybe I would love you to introduce me to them sometime and just have a conversation with to include you and just see what more there's it's kind of like the SBA, Small Business Administration, people that volunteer. They're retired CEOs, they're older, they just want to give back. Lakeland Village is, it's got to be loaded with knowledge and experience, and people that want to give back, or at the very least they may know somebody that has a special skill set that could be utilized here, and they just want to be a part of the community, whatever that looks like,
Great idea.
organically.
Yeah.
So that's something I would like us to be considering. Maybe the couple people who come in.
Next time I've got any time that they're willing to come down,
Mhm.
I'll link you in and see if.
Because the Port of Allyn is we're gonna get through some of the challenges we've had. We're drawn from that. We're seizing the moment, and I see a good positive trajectory. But you get to the next level at some point, to stay within our budget, it's gonna take volunteerism. There's no question about
No
it.
question.
So that's I think I beat that up enough, but I really like to see that engaged in a much bigger level somehow.
Yeah, because she needs to be that way. It's more of this is community sport, not our sport.
It's their exactly.
It's their
And
to take ownership of it.
and giving people and recognizing people that want to get involved, and it's a real positive direction for us as a board.
I agree.
So yeah, reignite the vision that we already have, if you will. Get the fire in the belly going with some people that want to give back to the community. Okay. Okay, are we ready to just,
Yeah, so next is the
Jeff,
document that Jeff Carey
Yeah.
provided, observations on the IDB fund.
I'm looking for the document.
Should be at the back of the packet.
Looks like this.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, yeah, it's hiding back there. Got it. All right, cool.
Was it?
Yeah, it's right behind that.
In between the two.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's
one of those
stuck together. It's like having $200 bills and you can only have one.
to it.
All right. Let's jump right into that.
And if you had any questions, I mean, Jeff Carey is here. if you'd like
Yeah.
to Invite him into the discussion.
Absolutely.
Well, after reading that, thank you, Jeff, for taking the time for that. I'm all for that. I know that with our time, however, maybe perhaps you could. If you,
Volunteer.
yeah, you said it, I didn't.
Well, I know what you said.
But, you know, well, because you've been really instrumental in helping us get back on our feet, so appreciate your work.
Right.
But. You know, not to delay it any, but to try to keep it on track, but because of our. Pressing other issues that we keep maybe once a month or once every other week or something like
Right.
that. A designated hour or so to try to do some digging.
But I don't believe this is gonna take that long.
Mhm.
I don't either.
It's been raised, the issues been talked about as far as, like forensic audit. Well, as outlined here, I believe first you pull the pieces together and stacks up. And then, I mean, I can't see this taking, if you got the material one day. full
Sure.
day, we just-
Yeah,
I don't have that right now, but I'm just saying that that's probably what it's gonna take, because you just post the 18 years to a spreadsheet in and out and see where it deviates off, and then
Yeah,
start looking for resolutions and things that, pull from the fund. And it's like I outlined, I don't, at this point, don't see anything that, is like, embezzlement or malfeasance or anything like that. But at the same time, when we go through this, if we discover something's off.
yeah,
Way, then we can shift gears. But I wanna see us, move in that direction, and I'd like to be able to have the court. Address this issue and move forward with it, and two, be in position so that when we come to the budget setting. This next late summer, that you're in a position to make a decision how you wanna go about. Replenishing it, or, at least start the process.
totally agree.
Yeah.
And even if that doesn't mean, or I should say, even if that means you can't put anything in the next 2 years because of the bond you're paying and what have
Making a
you,
plan.
but at least to know, okay, we reviewed it. Had other people look at it. There doesn't appear to be anything. No weird about it, and then we'll go about the process the same for what the board want to do as far as putting it back, because. The notes are clear, just nobody seems to quite be able to piece everything together just off the top of their head. And I think we need to get back there and begin the process of getting the IDB fund back to where it was.
Yeah. So, there was part of the beginning of that conversation I missed because I don't hear real well. What were you say? What were you saying? You making a joke about? You volunteered, or is that what you're saying? Or
No,
no, I'm asking because there's another. There was a woman that did it for the Mason County that came in that Randy Netherland mentioned that did a really good job.
We'll see. First of all,
she charges them. I think she charges, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was really inexpensive. That was
Okay.
you have
quote
to
unquote.
prove this in your regular this workshop side.
Right.
So
Yeah.
assuming you do. Lately with all the opportunities, with all the different things that are happening. Travis and I are at least talking once a week.
I know.
At least. And so there's somewhere that I probably fit some time to, you dump the stuff in front of me and, you know,
I see.
And if I may, Aaron and I already have a weekly accounting conference,
Okay,
so I can ask her to, of course, dig that information up, but I will, put it into the regular meeting as a commission approval item. And then
Yeah.
we'll go forward from there on our weekly meeting.
a lot of the stuff predates her work.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's-
Oh, big
There's gonna
time.
be some digging that we have to go through. It's before she actually did accounting.
Which, and is that just her coming in and going through, some of the old ways we used to do things here before, even before my time, but going into files?
Well, she went through and she reconciled the previous 2 years when she started.
Yeah,
So, she's gonna have it probably back to 2000. Or not 2000, 2020,
It-
2019, somewhere in there, I think is where really, but then we'll have to dig back into the old in records from there going back.
so, and there needs to be a kind of a target, a plan, like what, so she knows what. I'm sure she knows what she's looking for, but, to get a broader scope of exactly what she should be identifying with to give, like you, the person doing it to be more of a technician, if you will, as far as the looking into the accounting, correct?
Sure, unfortunate, depending on your frame of references. To me, I don't see it to be a big, see, I'm used to logistics,
Okay,
and I'm used to hundreds and hundreds of numbers. In my heyday, 25,000 line items was not a big deal,
oh,
okay? We're
okay,
not anywhere
It had
near
to be a
that.
headache just looking
No,
at
this
it.
is just gonna be a series of documents that
Right.
lead to a conclusion.
okay.
We're not too concerned. It's just the time factor that we have to weigh.
I mean, beyond just looking at,
Guess is that with staff, before we even involve an accountant technician, we're gonna have 90%, 95% of it together.
oh, I see. I like that idea.
Better utilize.
Yeah.
their talents.
And
It's
his,
kind of.
I see.
It's logistics, I don't know how familiar, but there's a lot of different ways that works in purchasing and inventory. But interestingly, it's kind of the same problem. It's also like trying to dig up your family tree. This problem with where that went. So it's like, okay, where did that relative come from?
Yeah,
Let's just go back and chase it down and,
right.
it's there. I mean, I've been to a lot of the meetings, but I can tell you straight up, I can only think of one thing where funds went to that was covered by the board. Did I hit every meeting? No, but.
well, I remember some of the resolution, not off the top of my head exactly what they are. And like you said, there wasn't embezzlement or
I don't see that as
misappropriation,
the
but
issue.
still. But bottom line is that IDD fund does need to be paid back, and I think that's the failure upon us, that we didn't get it paid
I
back.
still recall, I don't know whether it was the Allyn property or something else, but there was like, or whether it was the water system, but there was like one, and maybe it's the water system, where there was a resolution, but there was like, it was like an open-ended book. It was like a
Sure.
resolution, you could use the funds, but there was no payback, there was no interest rate, there was no nothing.
Yeah.
And yet,
Yeah,
and funds
that's
did
right.
move.
Is that, yeah, and you had brought, we're talking about in the last few years, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you brought up going, that you gotta have, there's no definition here. You
Right.
brought up to something that we moved forward and you're like, eh. Anyway, I do remember that. And so so I get back to your point, I believe that we're not gonna find that, but we're gonna be open and transparent about it no matter what. I think we're gonna find that it's just overspending and it's like, where are we gonna go to get this taken care of? I think that's basically it.
Solve the problem of how you take care of them.
I know. Just identify with it.
Identify where you come from.
Yes.
Where you've been, and now the board decides
Yeah.
where you want to go with and how you want to do it.
It answers the question if we can find those things that we all have, right? So,
It gets rid of one big
Yeah.
block that's bugging everybody
yes,
that would take
Yeah,
care of. There's
no.
others, but this, again, it's like, I'll probably write another document on another issue.
okay,
Like they did here, but I'm not gonna say, let's try to solve all these things, bang, bang, bang.
okay,
But when at the same time, as pointed out here, it's been 13 months of that, to identify the problem or the discrepancy.
yes, sir.
I think it's time, now that things have stabilized, at least we know where we're going through the months
I
and
do
through the
too.
year. Then now begin to ratchet up a little bit as far as trying to. fix
Yeah,
the
and
problem
we're,
fast.
if we did this, we're really on point with what we've had a discussion back in 2024, coming into third quarter, we're putting things off because we need to be really ultra focused on getting to where we're at right now. And then is it by spring, I know that I said this anyway, that's where I want to be, is at least starting to get a set of eyes on how did we get to where we were, where we had to really hit a serious reset button and tighten down, right? And how did that happen? So we're here now and I'm totally open to this, and it's healthy.
And I mean, not, we need to, depending on what's happening with the pack, I mean, not be able to make the meeting, but. You know, I will make some effort, but putting my hat totally in the volunteer
Okay.
side, the way I feel that your board's saying at the moment, but. Assuming you guys approve it in the regular meeting, I will make some time available to help, you know, the staff to get this, because I don't think it's that big an issue.
Okay,
I mean. Like, it's hard to describe, when you've done it, you know, in your other life, work, you know, lots of different items that are similar. It's, you look, you know, I'm not really in the report, but I'm saying, we're not.
okay,
Thousands of items, you're talking about, talking about a couple dozen,
okay.
The most, probably.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually excited for that.
The more, yeah, the more we can be transparent, the better off we are anyway. So.
We totally are. It's just opening up more of where we were at, how we got there, and then and moving forward the way we have been. It'll help us figure out and one, how to, you know, how did this happen?
Objective here, so, you know, is to get out of this loop. Of
Yeah.
depending on somebody else to do, I wanna get this so that Travis, the board, can create the budget and Jeff disappears. I'm saying I am. I
Understand.
I don't want the codependency.
No,
I want, we elect you, I don't.
you realize you're enabling yourself, right? Anyway, I understand what you're saying.
Just because, you know, thanks to taxes.
Yes, sir.
so it's got- Getting at it,
Yeah,
my objective is that the board would do this more and more and more, and not Jeff. Basically, get this so that it's,
Maybe we could have somebody, one of us, for lack of a better word, shadow you. So you can,
that's fine.
so you're basically for lack of a better expression, training your replacement.
you're not gonna do that though, are you? Yeah, no,
But you know what I'm saying, that way,
Seriously,
that way you wouldn't be constantly being.
and I'm sure.
Jeff's a numbers guy.
Sure, Travis picked up a number of things. He called me for some of the most interesting things over the last month or two.
Yeah,
And most of the time I have an answer, don't I?
Yeah, generally.
So,
And sometimes
you know, I'm good with.
saving me 2 or 3 hours of finding them.
I'm good with really having a grasp on where we're at when we have a healthy set of financials, right?
Sure.
What I'm not good at is what you're referring to, and digging in and identifying with things that will stand out to you that won't with the average person, and going through all the old stuff. So
don't bother, something fixed.
yeah. I know.
Opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I was programmed that way years and years, it was a little kid, just no
Yeah.
opportunity.
That's really awesome. All right, well, thank you, Jeff. No, and then we'll see what more we need to do later this year regarding what we find. And make a plan and,
Like I said, I won't probably make the next meeting.
Okay.
Assuming
well, your ears will be burning when we have our meeting.
the for a different reason.
Okay,
It's either my last name.
okay. Oh, boy. All right. I can only imagine. All right. So, are we good with that, or did you have anything else you want to add to that there?
As long as you understand what I'm laying out there.
I do.
And my objective here is, one, to fix it, but also two, to get the court to a point where they don't need me initiate, this type of thing eventually.
Well, this is what I was gonna do sometime in March, and we're just here in February talking about it right now. I'm just saying, it totally.
Right.
Yeah,
There's an approach and.
and you're bringing it up because you're willing to work with us to help make that happen is really, really great. So that's all I can say about that.
Right.
Okay,
Thank
and,
I'll wait for you, but don't take me till you
Okay.
pass it.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes,
Okay, you're right.
yeah, that goes back to what I was saying about, there's a lot of experience and expertise and knowledge around the community that we're not tapping into, and you're very involved with us. And it goes back to nobody ever gets where they got to go without a
Help.
team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what that effort looks like, or whether the business or whether it's a port. Paid or unpaid, doesn't matter. But what I'm pointing out is that you have an expertise that we're going to tap into, and I appreciate it very much. It's
Don't, but.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
So get ready.
All right. So water system development.
Let's see, there's a voucher is ready to be paid.
Yeah, so I provided you the copy of the
Mhm.
E19.
Great.
That was the vouchers that we got reimbursed with the last month.
Perfect.
For $11,750 of our engineering costs from our drinking water state revolving fund. It's a mouthful. Pretty good at getting it, right?
Mhm.
But we've got more to reimburse, and of course, that is a loan. The terms of that loan, we'll have to start repaying it as of I believe October.
What was the terms? I don't remember.
It's like 2.2%
Okay.
and 20 years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it's a balloon payment of once a year. You don't pay it by the month.
Oh, gotcha.
I
So
have a question for you.
Okay.
It's directly and indirectly related to this, but when it comes to grant money, how are we affected as a port or or even statewide? How are the ports being affected by a lot of the cleanup with the waste and abuse of federal dollars?
well, I mean,
I mean, we had talked about this.
we're a pretty small port and
I know,
and,
but
like-
but if they're taking stuff off the table, I'm just wondering if we're getting
So,
affected by that.
there was a concern, when I filed this, that we may not have gotten paid. And there was some confusion for a day when I talked to, our manager. Because 42% of this loan is federal, the
Mhm.
rest of it is state.
Okay,
So, it got resolved that day. There was pushback, of course, at the federal level, and it got repealed, by the administration. But that's not to say that this may continue, but I don't believe it's going to affect this particular fundage because it's a loan and it's under the terms of a contract. I
Mhm.
believe that the current executive branch administration will respect the art of the contract. But if it was grant money and there was stipulations, then we should have some cause for concern. But we currently don't have any of that type of money in our kitty or something that's planned as of right now.
because correct me if I'm wrong, the grant money has already been moved away from the source in which we got grant monies, just as a broader concept, right? Into
Yeah, so the
So it's
state
not
does
like we-
have access to it.
okay,
And it is, the access is partially from the federal government. I believe they've already transferred it to them, but I don't know.
that's what
I
I'm
think it's a
wondering.
reimbursement process as well. They have to prove to them that we're using the money properly as well before they get. So that's why these reimbursements take a little bit of time because they're doing all those checks and balances.
Yes, Ken.
I just thought I should mention, Commissioner, that might want to speak to the Department of Ecology because those brownfields grants are federal. And when I talked to him a couple weeks ago, he said that there's some hesitation with all that stuff, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ken is absolutely right. There's gonna be some hesitation there. And there's gonna have to be,
that's why I bring it up.
I wouldn't bet on any of it until things really become more clear
Right,
Mhm.
at the federal level, which will take some time.
right.
And none of that's gonna resolve itself overnight.
As long as it doesn't have the name Green New Deal. Just saying. All right. Something to pay attention to, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
And
Anything else
if
on
I
that?
may, something also to look, to pay attention to is
Yeah.
just to, as we look for further funding, identify where those sources are, and if they have any, hint of federal, additions to it, make darn sure that they're not gonna be pulled back.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm confident that
Things will get shaken.
the face of things will change. That's all that's happening really, is to figure out, are they wasteful dollars, and are they going where, like, where it's supposed to go, and is it much needed, and things we're doing in these communities around the state, ports like ourselves, uh, it pays back indirectly with ports, if you will, because of who we are and why we do what we do, to build community, develop communities, whether it be tourism and or actual businesses that are in communities. We don't have the same kind of we don't have the same lay of the land as some of the bigger ports, but the small ports are an important part of every part of the community, and I don't see that being threatened at all. But I want to pay attention to where our dollars are coming from, and maybe we need to look at that a little closer. And that's where volunteerism comes back in. The people that can, like, if a conversation like this comes up and they start digging into asking those kinds of questions and relieve some of our concerns, no matter what it may be, that would be one of them, for example. You don't have the time to do every time we come up with a great idea. Oh, let's just explore that, drop everything else.
Yeah, I barely have time to stop looking at the computer screen.
I know, right? But anyway, it goes back to what I'm trying to say about getting the community involved, so, all right. Are we,
We're still on some water system.
Okay.
development. The consolidation plan, as of today, we're at 39 days of the 60 to 90-day process. But we do know they've already seen it.
Have we had any comments lately?
No,
Yeah.
we know that they've already picked it up, so, but we haven't received comments back.
Okay.
West Sound Engineers has got, they finally hired a new surveyor. So part of what we had already worked out with them with our water system, plan update is that, we will need to hire surveying, and that is payable through our loan.
Okay, that's what I was gonna
DLH,
ask.
right.
Do you have an estimate of how much it's gonna cost?
Not yet.
Okay,
That's supposed to be coming forward, right? But it's not gonna be as bad as I would think. It's
hopefully not the remainder of the whole loan.
yeah, I mean, I think that
No,
the
okay.
full system mapping.
Yeah,
All, the old carry system, the port system, everything we've installed. I mean, we had a loose number of under 15,000.
great, okay,
So,
good,
and that was on the high side.
okay.
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Can't look to it.
Jeff.
One of them to keep in mind was I committed to Travis. That, that 10,000 is withheld, so we have as-bills, because of what recommendation of engineering was not to have to do what I'm saying and then come back and revisit the whole damn thing again. I committed to Travis that I would help fund a portion of that, which would relate to my expense. And then basically, my cost was in the 3 to 3.5, but we held out 10. And I've mentioned to Travis that, we put an agreement together. And I'll match that again so that we get this pushed through. And basically, I think
We had the conversation in a previous meeting, and the commission did approve, exploring what it would take to write that agreement up. And I have sent an email to our law firm with the particulars about what we're trying to do there.
Okay, great.
But all I want to do is make it simple, both getting it done, but also on this issue of the preparation of data. Neither you can own it, I don't care, you can't gift it, but we're both trying to get to the same point. I'm doing it for a different reason, i.e. the roads, the stormwater and all that. You're doing it from the water and running your sewer and things like that.
I see.
And, you know, we're crossing paths and, you know, basically if the engineer's correct, then basically I'm helping fund half of it almost.
These are roads we're navigating through that you saw well in advance. It's just,
Right.
we're just here now. Because I remember you bringing it up, like, well, when we get there, we'll have that. And it's like, I just, several times, when we get to that point, and this is one of those crossroads where we're at.
Right, but, you know, I mean, that was.
I'm learning along the way, Jeff,
That
so,
will help alleviate some of your costs.
Okay.
And get this agreement done. But I don't see it to be complex.
right,
I mean, I've
I
got
don't
about
either.
6 square feet of closet spaces devoted to just individual old maps of water lines in the water system.
Yeah.
That have just been done along the way,
Mhm.
that aren't compiled together into one document for us to be able to understand it all.
yeah,
And this replaces all that.
oh, yeah,
And
This
it
is
cleans it
also-
up, and it literally, we have a
Mm.
digital footprint for it as we progress on new extensions. It all grows slowly and
that's
surely.
remarkable,
After this, it grows by the developers paying to grow that map,
yeah,
not the port.
okay,
The other thing is, there's another one of those steps of me stepping away
yeah,
of things. Because it's just.
Yeah,
like-
because then there's a full
He-
footprint. I don't have to ask Jeff next time. We got a problem in this quadrant. I don't have a map, so
Yeah.
you know it. Help me, please.
it's kind of like, I don't want this job, I gotta train somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I mean, you're working your way right out of a job,
Well, neither of us are gonna be here forever. We have to know that when we
Oh,
are
come
not
on.
here, we're walking away from something that somebody can come in
that's the
with no
idea.
knowledge and be
yes.
like, it's all here before.
No, that to hold that thought, because that's how we need to be doing everything. We should be treating everything like, if it croak right now, or,
It's
and we
training our
move on,
replacements.
you know, that we got something that's not a complicated thing for someone to pick up where we left off, no matter what, and be thinking about the community and the future of that, future generations to come, for the port to be healthy and on point, and not have to dig into 6 closets to figure out where anything's at. So that's really cool. I'm happy to hear that. We talked about that too.
every day's a gift, so you never know when your last one is.
I know. No, it's true. Yeah, I just had a recent conversation with
I
family.
think the more I prepare, at least, I don't know about you, but if you prepare for things, they don't seem to happen.
Mm-hmm,
Or if they do happen, they're very quickly addressed.
yeah.
It's when you don't prepare, it really becomes a.
Yeah, we have a gift right here as a commission here at this port to just keep making things better, and to listen to people that are smarter than us, Jeff, so that we can make good decisions. So, okay. Anything else on that?
Water committee,
Oh, yeah, just, there's a water committee meeting tonight to, discuss, recommendations on our new contract.
Okay. When do they meet, what time do they meet?
6 o'clock.
Okay. You'll be working late.
Yep.
So I.
I come right,
I
right
get it.
by.
But if you love what you do, it's not like work,
He's
Jeff,
here
right?
most nights past 6 o'clock. so-
Yeah, only maximum of 3 days a week.
All right,
It's maximum, then otherwise I don't get to come home.
well, I have another board meeting tonight.
You don't get
I'll be,
to-
I'll be attending tonight, just because my
Okay.
other information, I.
Oh,
think just to
good.
Show support, I was there last time too. But I'm learning it more, it really helps, actually it helps.
Okay. Well, that's cool, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Next is the,
all right,
So, emergency repair portion of, on the, here, basically, I'm ready to send out bids, it's just, we need to tidy up our,
contract,
not our contracts, but our policy for public works. So I'll have that ready for approval in the March
Okay.
10th meeting.
Okay.
The additions.
something beyond
changes.
what we just did, or,
Yeah, that, I put it down here. It was the document here with the 2019 resolution 399. It's the current Port of Allyn's public small works roster. It's quite a mouthful resolution. I believe I can simplify it further and get the same content.
okay? I'll read through it, but go ahead.
Oh, thank you. No, we kind of discussed that before, the Shelton Public Works contract
Yeah.
policy. It's kind of a cleaned up version of what we're looking for, and already had our law firm have a look at it, and they say that it follows the changes appropriately. So I will work that into a new policy, and we'll have a much simpler resolution for its passage, because this previous resolution 399 is kind of policy and resolution combined into one.
Okay,
Okay,
So it's better that we just have a resolution passing the policy instead of the policy being part of the resolution.
gotcha.
that's funny. I get it, yeah, because I get it, so this is something we'll deal with on the next meeting.
Yep, I'll have a cleaned up version that's tailored for the Port of Allen.
Great.
What will be different about that, than what you have here right now, when you say, cleaned up?
It won't have a lot difference from the Port of Shelton's policy, except we will incorporate a new chart for the thresholds and procurement process. And I will go through the remainder bits of our original policy and see if there's anything Port of Allen specific that really should be included.
So basically, all this, we just have to.
Yeah, I'm not even tackling it till next week because I have a
You even
larger
had Ted
issue
Jackson
at
on
hand for
here,
this week.
you have Jackson on here,
Yeah, that, because it was approved in 2019.
yeah.
Yeah.
2019 is what?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the 2019 approved policy
Yeah,
and resolution.
yeah, Cooper,
Combination.
all right. All right,
Yeah, because that's we have to go out and send out bids to the entire public works roster on the MRSC for the railing project.
not anymore though.
No, but I did make sure that the local company that does do that type of work got registered on the MRSC, so they'll be able to bid.
Oh, okay,
That's Jack Daniels with Lakeshore Construction. They mostly do fresh water, but they do salt water as well.
Great.
really,
But it's gonna be an expensive project. All of that's gonna be prevailing wage, and it's
yeah,
there's a couple weeks worth of work replacing all those bearings.
yeah,
It has to be done for my barge underneath. So we look at longshoremen's L&I costs.
yeah,
My time in the construction business doing seawalls, that's what drove the cost up
Yeah.
by 30%. It's
That's-
just paying those L&I costs.
the Bacon Act,
Oh, Oyster House relocation. Started the meeting, the special meeting portion about getting them paid, so that will be good for them and good for us, because they're doing good work out there.
And I see March 5th, we're meeting
Yes, there's.
Bill Ray,
Yep,
and is
yep,
Peter
Bill
gonna be
Ray
there
and
too?
the
or-
Army Corps' manager is gonna meet, and hopefully we can get a determination of they're not interested in saying that we can't do it.
Mhm,
So
okay,
that will be, that's a big portion of getting the Oyster House moved right there.
great.
Loads of gravel. I did contact 3 companies. We don't have to do 6 for small projects of that nature, so. And I did find loads of gravel at $400 a load, which was considerably economical versus the other 2 bids I got,
Sure.
so.
Are you able to share?
I
who-
set that up for next week.
Okay,
We'll get 1 load dumped here and 1 load dumped behind the closed off section at the North Shore across the boat ramp. And then I will coordinate with Commissioner Curtin here to bring his equipment out, and we'll get those potholes cleaned up.
great. Perfect.
okay,
It'd probably save us about 2/3 of what we were spending for actual,
Who's gonna be
Parking lot
spreading it?
grading.
You're gonna be spreading it?
Yeah, I have a small tractor, so I
Great.
can just,
Thank you.
and I got some friend and kids that will help pack it when we're using the tractor.
Fantastic.
I got a little,
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
not a problem. I'm doing
That's
this.
great.
When are you gonna do that? I mean, when's that gonna happen?
the loads of gravel get delivered next week sometime,
Okay.
so, we'll just coordinate after the gravel's been delivered.
All right,
2 days when it's not raining.
so before the next meeting, it'll be all pretty.
Yeah, our contingent of volunteers, I think they're fair weather volunteers, so
Well,
we work with them as we can.
well, this Wednesday's supposed to be nice, tomorrow, cause
Yeah, but we won't have the rocks by then.
No,
That's the problem.
I only know that because we go flying and like, oh, we're gonna get a little break in weather.
But I do know
Or
that
if you
when,
can-
when you're dealing with that stuff, when there's a lot of water and stuff in the hole, it's more of a pain to actually pack it and get it tight. So
Okay,
it's not just the weather due to our dislike of water, it's
well, thanks for doing that. All right,
So just left is Commissioner Scott updates from the PRTPO.
Yeah, I just wanted to share with everybody that there's the planning and environmental linkage. And they're having an open house. There was one last week, which I was not able to attend, but there is an online open house for you to get all the information, put in input. And if you go to the WashDOT website and type in PEL, then it can take you to the planning and environmental linkages, and this PEL is in regard to the Gorst interchange, and what they're looking for is information, well, thoughts on what you would like to see.
Hmm.
So,
they're finally gonna fix it.
well, they're trying to see what they can do. There's been lots of, potential solutions, I guess. They were thinking about just like from 16 on top of the hill, right straight into across the bay, straight into Highway 3 by the sewer, and then there's other ways that they would be able to fix it around there too, around the current location now. So they're looking for thoughts about it, input, and again, go to the WashDOT, type in PEL and it'll take you to the linkage, and I don't have the link handy here for the open house. But I think there's a WashDOT PEL questionnaire. And it'll take you to different links for that.
Ken, did you have something to chime in on?
Yeah, the open house is Wednesday, it's in Naval Elementary School. Burlington.
Okay, great, thank you.
I recently applied and was accepted onto the Citizen Advisory Committee for that project.
Excellent. Yeah, I think our other commissioner is on there. Mason County Commissioner, I think, is on there as well. That's great. So any questions?
I was just thinking about all the barges they put out there in that waterway, it's like,
And the derelict boats?
well, no, there's a reason why there's barges, yeah, the derelict boats can go away, but the barges, that would be interesting. That's an area of a waterway where people like stage their barges down there,
Sure. Right.
Yet they need to do something with get, not everybody going through Gorse is continuing on, they're going down Highway 3, that's a big
Correct.
problem,
Yeah,
huge. So, yeah, that would do really, but then they'll just have to build a third Tacoma Bridge. It just never ends.
that may not work, actually having a bridge completely across there. I don't know, that's a whole nother NEPA,
I
SEPA.
think it'd be really good, I think it'd be great unless they were to just impinge upon the whole wetlands there and make that whole area wider and anyway, sorry.
True.
Yeah, it's really, putting something over the water might be the best fix.
Well, that's all I have.
That'll be probably not in our lifetime though. By the time you get that all approved and done.
Yeah, like the bypass.
Well, I keep harping about that one too, whenever I can say anything on PRTPO, then I remind them.
That brings up another point, volunteerism, right? Wouldn't it be nice to have a couple volunteers that wanna go to and be more engaged with like a lot of the. We can't be everywhere at once nor do everything, right? As far as even going to a lot of the meetings in the county and around the county is. Having some people that report back to the port that wanna have be able to vocalize and create bullet points for different groups that are meeting, the voice for one, or we already got a few different meetings that are covered down for sure, but there's a whole lot going on that could be brought to our attention in a more fluid way if we had more people who volunteered to go to these meetings. You know,
If I may point out, Ken, what volunteer committee did you get approved on for the Board of Health?
Citizen advisory.
Citizen advisory
I
committee.
applied for it.
You applied for and you got approved for? I mean, it sounds like something that Ken could help us on if he
Mhm.
was willing to give us a report on what's going on down there.
like we had a
in
couple
those
few.
meetings.
I you can get a lot of information if you just go to the link that Commissioner Stout was talking about.
Okay.
There's the surveys and stuff to fill out in there. But, yeah, no, that's part of the reason why I got onto it.
Can we get,
I'd give you an update on the pack, but it's ugly.
What's that?
I heard it's pretty packed.
yeah,
No pun intended, but
It seems to be a little weighted, but it's okay. It's fine.
Oh,
We're working through things and.
okay.
And eventually, when there's a draft, I'll bring it, or the English thing, Travis up to it so you can see what's coming down. But I don't disagree, we're involved in a lot of different things, all of us, and if we can help facilitate it, help support it.
Spread the wealth, you know?
Yeah, because we're still having trouble, the PAC's having trouble, is my read of it is. When it comes to these capital facilities and planning in this county, we're having trouble.
Hmm.
And so obviously the port's got a couple things, capital facilities, what have you. So this is not to say that the port's got it made in any way, shape or form. But it's, in my opinion, it's a bigger problem with the county. And not only by size, but we have some of the things we've laid out with the water system as an example, have yet to even be laid out with the county with regards to their water system, or
Okay.
their sewer system, or their whatever. And the PAC is struggling to try to get the county to do things to meet some of the things that are outlined. There's a document that Department of Commerce about as one area is capital facilities, about 118 pages or 13 pages. We're not saying the advisory board's not saying that they want to meet every nitpick things, but
Mhm.
there's some generalities that we're just missing. I mean, that's big in my mind, big steps, like, and understand the inventory, when they say inventory, meaning like, take North Bay Case Inlet. Yes, they got some inventory of different things, but for years, they've been saying we need to increase the capacity, and yet all these years we've been able to run with what we've had. So what's happened? And then there's reserve funds or lack of reserve funds, and it's just on and on. So I'm supporting the thing that you're talking about, that I will, when we get closer to draft or a draft, I'll make sure that the copy comes to the port. You may not want to read it because I'm sure it's going to be at least 300 pages. But it's a start. It's the intent.
Yeah, no, I will need to go through it. I mean, we need to be looking at that.
And I won't paraphrase, I've said some things in meetings, so I'll leave it at that.
I'll put aside an afternoon and get through it. I will.
But it's a start, but it's frustrating because I've seen many of the same things repeated over the last 25 years of going to these different meetings. And, to me, it's definitely worse than raising kids, and I didn't raise them. I've watched others do it.
It can't be so.
No, it is.
Mm.
It can be,
with
Anyway,
it.
that's not too bad, thanks.
You have no idea.
As a
Yeah.
reminder, Thursday.
Yeah,
6
don't have my
p.m.,
kids.
There's there's a meeting here in the Allyn Chamber.
Thanks for.
Yeah, for the, talking about the comprehensive scheme and having the community's voice come in and raise their concerns.
Our
Yes.
scheme?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
The
Okay.
Allyn UGA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Allyn
Oh,
UGA,
yes, gotcha.
how it fits into the comprehensive.
Forgot that.
Okay, thank you.
It's so after the detail last night, I forgot the meeting tomorrow.
What day is that?
It's Thursday, 6 p.m.
Thursday. Oh dear, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to make
Oh,
that.
wait a minute.
If any of you want to make it, just
I
let me
can't.
know, because if 2 of you want to make it, I got a post quorum.
Is that the fifth, sixth?
No,
No,
it's the 27th.
Oh,
27.
I have a meeting that night already, so I can't
Yeah,
make
six
it.
PM to 9 PM.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
make
6
that,
to 8.
cause I have
6 to 8.
another,
Well,
If it goes to 9,
Are you want,
I'm
could
gonna
you
be
go to
kicking them out
that?
of the 15.
so I have another meeting.
At the
so
moment, I
can't
have it
make
in my calendar and I'm hoping to go, unless things change. I've learned that my life has become not my own.
I imagine it'll be a pretty full room.
But I'm planning on being there.
Okay,
But it'd be good to have more than one of us
I
there.
am committed that evening already.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. In place of.
All right, so, yeah,
Family
just,
thing.
it'll be just me.
Oh, make it easy.
Yeah, I'm going to a DNR meeting, so.
Go
That's-
where?
It's not a do not resuscitate. It's a Department of Natural Resource.
Is there a difference?
Okay,
Sorry, I joke.
all right, so that was the end of that.
Includes the items on the list.
Right. I would say that, hold on.
And Travis, when is the meeting with Bill Ray? What time is that?
9:30.
Okay,
What the heck? Hmm. Have a copy of the agenda. I don't know what-
Sure.
Mine went.
oops, there you go.
There
There you go.
All right, thanks.
You got stared.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything I was missing as we came to the end of that, because that really is the end of our agenda, so. Is,
Move to adjourn.
yes, go ahead and. Shall we'll adjourn, we'll just go ahead and make a motion
So move.
and, okay,
No, say it.
so be it, we are adjourned. Oh.